for quite some time. Yeah.
Okay, sir, please, I want to ask you this question. You that have been in Europe or rather in Germany for a long
Mm,
time,
mm,
any person that just came from Africa to Europe, I
mm,
don't want to mention only Germany,
mhm,
Europe,
mhm,
they have not acquired anything at home, maybe
mhm,
building or
mhm,
whatever things. Then you just fall yourself inside the marriage,
mhm,
getting married with
mhm,
any woman. So, what are your advice to such people? Do you think that is best way?
mm. First of all, this question you ask is a very important question to life economy
Mm,
because the issues of life it's very requiring for people to understand exactly where they are coming from. First of
yeah.
all, before the life in Europe, it changes our orientation and
Mm,
changes a lot of things about our perception. But there's a misgiving when it comes to how we find ourselves. It is not anybody who has come to Europe has not don't really know exactly what to expect.
mm,
So what they are doing is not even what it's supposed to be,
yeah.
but at the same time they have no option than doing it. So that is they are caught up in a web kind of a web that nobody is a big education
Mm,
and something that they need to sensitize the people of. Like for instance, we are Africans,
mm,
we have a way of life, and our way of life is that we as young men we could or people we live in community. We always believe that we live for each other. That's to live in community, live in
yeah.
colony. So when you don't set up a thing, back in Africa before you come, it's difficult to begin because when you come, there's always a disruption, and you see young people marrying, not understanding what marriage is,
Mm,
going into marriage, and before long the marriage is not holding, and before you know what's happening, the person is having a perception of marriage which is not, because the
yeah.
person did not also get orientation of marriage before they get married, but they ought to be married because marriage is one of the way out to live in Europe,
Mm,
whether you like it or you
or
don't
not.
like it, whether you love the person or you don't love the person, whether it's what you want or you intend for yourself. So you are forced into it. So it's still what we're saying. Anything that someone force you into doesn't last too long because there is slavery in it.
Based on what you just said, let me pick something. I pick something from there. So, sir, the way marriage is broken in Europe, rather Germany that we
Yeah.
live,
Yeah.
do you think that there is still love?
Yeah, there is love because God is love.
Mm,
Because if there is God, then there is love. But the orientation, like I said, the mechanism, what people, what people, how they live their life, you
mm,
understand, does not the where we are living, it doesn't give us room to experience true love. So everything is all diplomatic,
mm,
everything is all systematic,
mm,
everything is all dependent on individual needs, individual wants. The person wants something from
yeah,
you
okay.
and wants to, so it's all about wants. So but there is love, because by the time you have your own children, or maybe where you're coming from, I'm a Christian and I'm also a pastor.
Mm,
You understand? I have a big community,
okay.
and we teach love. Why won't we teach love? Marriage is a sacrament, is a sacred thing before God,
Mm,
and it's a commandment actually, and it is one thing that God respects. Before God likens marriage unto church, and He said that the gates of hell will not prevail. So why won't love exist?
okay. But do you think that marriages in Europe,
Mm.
they are married? Some people they are marriages for purpose. What do we get from each other?
Yes, it is always consensual. It is always with interest,
Mm,
and the interest doesn't maybe most of the time favor the person who is on the lower, who
mm,
is actually needing something.
yeah.
For instance, someone needs a job, is always conditioned. Someone needs this, is always conditioned. Someone needs paper, is always conditioned. Someone needs the money, is always conditioned. Someone needs a place to stay, is always conditioned. Someone wants to help you to come over, is always conditioned. So it's always with interest, selfish interest. Yeah.
Okay, sir, let me ask you this last question.
Mm,
The way Europe is now,
mm,
can you advise someone that is more than 40 years
mm.
to use like 15 to 20 million to do visa come to Europe?
No, I will not. I will not advise such.
Okay,
I will not advise such. I will rather advise that such a person should. It will not be my best advice
okay.
because some people might be 40 years and also still have money, I will talk about, if we grade them, if we put them into category. Let's say a young man who is that's his last money, that's his, maybe he has to also sell properties or even dupe someone, or even has to borrow money. You know, you might think of something else to do. You might think of investment, international investment that you can do,
Okay.
or even go to other neighboring countries that not definitely Europe.
Europe.
You
Okay.
can go to other African countries who are doing well, you know, but not because Europe, more especially like Germany. I speak for Germany. It's a language country. It's a Dutch country, and the system they have put in place will make you to start all over again. It doesn't matter if you have masters or whatsoever. You start all over. Stylishly, they make you start all over,
All
and
over.
while you are starting all over, another 15 years of your life is gone without you balancing yourself, like, onto. So we have seen cases where a lot of our senior men who have been here 30 something years, 25 years, have not gone back to their country more than 3 times. They have not gone back to their country more than 4 times, and they keep maybe also still lying to their families, living this kind of a false life that they are okay, whereas they are not okay. The weather can make you look okay, but you know that you're not okay.
Inside you.
You know that you're not okay, and yeah. So it's a very big economic disaster.
Okay, so what are your points now that you will not invite the person to come to
No,
you?
I will not advise the person. If the person that's, you are hustling, you are struggling, that's your last money, you don't have any plan, ask questions very well. Make your findings. Thank God for technology today.
Yeah.
What you cannot hear from your agent or whosoever, do not allow anybody to deceive you. So you make your own findings and
Research.
find out, because you must do the language. Like me, it took me 4 years to do the at least half of the language. Before, if you want to do a professional course, if you want to work professionally, you need to have what they call C1s, and C1s will take you invariably maybe 3 years or 4 years to have. It took me 5 years to get my own, because I repeated some of the classes, and I have B2. I'm doing my B2 right now because I'm doing a professional course also,
Okay.
so, and I have masters in cybersecurity also, apart from being a pastor. So, but if not, you will just have just about any kind of job. Those kind of job that are calculated after you must have paid your house rent and all that. You are just doing a rat race, and so God forbid problems. And yeah, we have a lot of cases of our brothers who died in their
Maybe they
houses
just
and all that. Every time you see, we are making contributions to want to help the family, help them back home, or help their wives or their children they left behind and all that. So these are just the disasters that these things they cause.